Hello, Chris from My Stamp Lady here, and I'm going to show you how I made this little gift tag. The little seam binding parts are meant to tie it on. I had a lot of questions about how I made it, and I appreciate the questions and comments. So let's get started with this gift tag. It is made using the Joyful Christmas stamp set, so it's the large poinsettia from that. And I'm going to start with the poinsettia part of it. So I will ink up, my stamp, the poinsettia stamp, with my Versamark ink. And you won't be able to see this first part because it's like stamping clear on clear. I'm going to take the embossing buddy and emboss, or kind of rub it over my pieces of vellum so that I don't have powder sticking to where I don't want it. Now this piece is a little bit small because I'm just going to be cutting out the center. Okay, there's one. Let's ink that up again. And this time I need the full image, so I'm going to stamp that on a little larger piece of vellum. Okay. Sprinkle my gold embossing powder over my vellum pieces. And I wasn't very careful if I got my edges because it doesn't matter, I'm cutting it out. So if you see that I cut a couple of edges, that's okay. I'm cutting it out. And then the full one. Okay, and then I'm going to just heat set these, and that's going to take just a bit of time, so I'll be back when I'll start heat setting it, and when you see it turn, and then I'll be back. Okay, I've cut out my, excuse me, my vellum poinsettia, and I also, while I had the camera off, stamped and embossed 2 leaves. So let's start with the poinsettia. I'm going to pull in my cherry cobbler, and all I'm doing is just inking up my cherry cobbler on the top of my ink pad, and then rubbing over the top of my vellum. Now vellum does take a bit longer to dry than paper because it can't soak in. It will dry, but it does take a bit longer. And then where you have brushed it over your embossing powder will never dry. So after I've given the vellum some time to dry, I'm going to wipe off over the embossing portion. Let's do our green leaf with artichoke, always artichoke ink. Be careful of that, I keep grabbing those. Okay, so now I've already done my other leaf. It's in there, and I've already done the top part. These are colored already. So let's prepare the tag part. So now I have my circle framelits, and I'm going to use the third, excuse me, I'll grab these out of here. These are the third, 1, 2, 3, third and fourth largest ones. The third largest one is going to go on my always artichoke, and I will do, I have now 2 white circles and the 1 artichoke circle. I am going to take the Pretty Print embossing folder and place one of my white circles in there. So and now I have 1 embossed circle and 1 white circle. So to make this, I'm going to use a little bit of the multi-glue adhesive. It'll hold it better. It's cheaper. I like using that when I'm doing certain things. Okay, let's adhere that down. Okay. On the back side, I'm going to take a length of, let's see, there's the top, a length of cherry cobbler embossing, seam binding. I'm just going to put a little bit of regular adhesive down just to hold it in place while I glue down my circle. This is the plain circle, and I'm gluing a plain circle on the back, one to cover up my seam binding ribbon that attaches it to the package, and then the other reason is so I have a plain writing surface. So that's it. That's all you need to do for the plain basic tag part. There's your back, there's your strips coming off to tie it to your package. So now I'm going to take a little piece of toweling, and I'll wipe off over this. Now this is going to take off the extra ink from over the embossing powder. And if you feel like it's taking it off your vellum too, you can just put it back on there, let it dry a bit longer. Okay, there we go. So I'm wiped off any extra. This part I'm just going to take mini glue dots. Put a couple of mini glue dots on here. There we go. Place that in my center of my tag. Take the second layer, do the same thing. A couple of mini glue dots. There we go. Look at how easy this comes together once you have your parts. And then let's take one of the leaves. Just tuck that right underneath there. The other leaf. And tuck that in there. Now to finish this off, I did take a little button from the Naturals collection and I put a piece of white baker's twine through it, and then with a mini glue dot, put that in the center. And look at that, you've got that to add to your package. Backside to write on, and this is ready to go to it to make. You can even tie it to a pre-made bag. So if you have any questions about what I did, don't hesitate to contact me, Chris@mystamplady.com. And thanks for watching.